Hey, what's going on, everybody? So in this video, it's going to be a little bit different. It's going to be focused on all the things that go on at a typical Miami practice, aside from the coaching and the players. It's a lot of the staff members, some equipment being used at practice. I'm going to show you guys some different things there. Hopefully you guys like this video. But basically just kind of first off looking around at practice and seeing the landscape outside on the Green Tree practice fields. And one of the things you immediately notice is all the position groups working at different parts of the fields with a lot of staff members and coaches helping out. But they are broken down into position groups. They do drills together, offense versus defense. And right here in front of us here is Josh Gaddis giving an instruction to a wide receiver quarterback drill. I want to get back into this a little bit later, but I want to show you some other things first. Starting with the GPS system, you might have heard about it. This is one of the sensors right under the goalpost, and they're setting it up right now. Make sure it's calibrated, and it reads to every player. Every player wears a device, and that information based on speed and effort and things like that goes to their computer right underneath the tent. And as you can see right here, and then after practice, the staff members process the information and get it to the coaches as soon as possible. Another thing that you see at practice all the time are the referees. They have official referees helping out with practice. Are there penalties? Was it a catch? Everything to go on like that. And these guys are here every day at practice. It's great to see, and I think it provides a little bit more of a game atmosphere. And just showing you some of the equipment used here. This is a product by Gilman. The quarterback's thrown to the net. And here is the athletic training table. This is where players, if they get hurt, or if they even need to just get their ankle taped, and you see all the supplies behind the table here. But if a player gets hurt, this is where they go to. And if there's anything serious or anything going on, they have a cart right here ready to go for anybody that might need it. But certainly there's just a lot of different things going on at practice, and a lot of goes into it. Some equipment being used to film practice are these tall cameras here, and I want to show you when they get set up into place. But it's just a lot of equipment going on so that the coaches can look at the equipment. And as you can see off to the right hand part of the screen, there's the cameras in action taking footage of the offensive line versus the defensive line, and so they get that overhead view, and so the coaches can take a look at it after practice. They go back through it. A lot of people in the video production department, about 10 people involved with that. And as you can see it here, there's another one on the back part there as well. So you're getting different camera views. You're seeing another guy holding a camera. So there's a lot of video production stuff going on at practice, so they can get as much information as possible, and they can go back through it because sometimes you miss certain plays. And you can also show the players what they're doing right, what they're doing wrong as well. One of the coolest things at practice, and I know many of you have wondered what the heck this thing is, and we will get into it, but there are 3 of these. They are camera systems, so they can film practice from the sky. And it is really cool piece of equipment here. There's 3 of them. The third one here is right by the A in Miami, right across the wall, if you could see it. But just a close-up view on what we're looking at here. And you can see the screen right here with all the controls, and somebody's in here kind of zooming in, zooming out. Right now it's offline, so I definitely want to come back to this when it's being used. But just showing you how it works and what all they can see there. But it almost looks like a back end of a boat, or whatever you might call it, but it's got the canopy there for the sun, and then this tall pole, and there's a camera at the top. So as you can see, they can really zoom in and get great footage. I definitely want to get back to this and show you it in action once it's being used. But it's just a really impressive piece of equipment. Walking by the indoor practice facility, special teams is in here quite a bit. And just, this is the end of the practice field. And once again, I just want to show you all that's going on. And there's one of those GPS sensors right there underneath the goalpost that's being used. Just a few other things. Gatorade is certainly a big thing here, and I want to show you some other stuff, but just some things you typically see at a practice there. Obviously, you got the down markers and things like that, and the score clock. This is a big one that I certainly pay attention to when I'm at practice. So this is the equipment that controls the score clock, the scoreboard, And as you can see, when it says period 3, there's about 20 periods or so at a typical practice. And, you know, being in the media, we can only see certain periods, so we're always paying attention to that clock. But here we go. Let's see this thing in action. And I don't want to disrupt them at all. But as you can see, the overhead view of practice on this particular field, and he has the ability to rotate the camera a little bit if they need to, but certainly it's really cool that they can get that point of view. Another thing with a high point of view is a drone. We see drones at practice quite a bit. This one's grounded right now, but that will be up there as well. More video production equipment being used, and also, you know, this is another piece, but also one thing that's new about Mario Cristobal and, you know, things he's doing at UM with the program is just implementing this creative design department, particularly with recruiting. There's going to be about 5 members there. And as you can see, this is another guy working for the team with the still photography. And once again, just a lot is going into these practices. And right here, you see a drill with a lot of people. There's Coach Gaddis. And I will show you this footage here of this drill since it's right up close to us. It's really pretty cool. You can see this kind of action, and I'm always trying to give you guys as much information and video as possible. But I'm looking at all these people, you know, working here, you know, trying to get the most out of the program and at practice. There's a lot of people, I would guess maybe 50 people or so, you know, doing different things out here that aren't the coaches, that aren't the players. This is another example of that. If you can see different people, you see the people there helping out with the drills. You got somebody off to the right with the water bottles, but you know, you got somebody throwing the ball, you know, you got somebody feeding the passer, getting the ball back from the wide receivers as they go through this drill. Always to keep things in moving, you know, with the tempo. And if you, for example, if you go to a high school practice, it is not operated like this. You don't have this many helpers. The ball is all over the place, and it takes time to run drills. But as you can see here, you know, this is another drill. A lot of people involved. You got a guy in there simulating being the center, and then also you got somebody throwing the ball, you know, essentially like a hike to the quarterback there, Tyler Van Dyke, number 9. But Coach Gaddis is instructing here, taking a look at Frank Latson running through a route here. Once again, just a lot of people helping out, you know, and you see Frank Ponce right there in the orange shirt, kind of instructing. But there's a lot of instruction going on, but there's also a lot of people out there helping. Some of this, you know, not all of this is new. You know, there's always been certainly people helping out at practice, but I just want to show you guys this a little bit, what it looks like, this behind the scenes stuff. Just a lot of people doing different things, helping out to make it smooth. But I do want you to kind of listen in to Coach Gaddis. I can kind of hear him give instruction. Offensive coordinator who also teaches the wide receivers as well. So after practice, the viewing periods, we get a chance to interview players afterwards, and hopefully you guys have enjoyed it so far. But I'm going to go and wait for my spot, wait to get into the indoor practice facility where the interviews are being held. As you can see in front of me, the big building there, that's Schwartz Center, and they have a lot of classrooms and, you know, meeting rooms are in there as well as an auditorium where sometimes they hold press conferences or things like that. But they have the trophy room right inside here in the Schwartz Center, if you've ever seen that. And then the locker room is right there, the locker room for the players to use. So, but we can go in right now. You can see the indoor practice facility. I'm gonna get my camera set up here, but I want to show you guys the practice facility before we start doing interviews. I know many of you have already seen this, but just again, and you see that right at the end zone, that's that little space from, sometimes they go from outside to inside if it's raining or thunderstorms or anything like that. And that was the spot where I showed you from before with the special teams. So there's Xavier Restrepo talking to a media relations representative, and he's kind of helping them, you know, before the interviews with the media there. But there's a lot of people that are involved in a practice. I know I'm leaving people out. You know, right here we're getting some people, you know, picking up certain things, the pads and everything has to be put away. Something that I didn't mention is the nutritionist. That's a big part of the program as well. And they're certainly trying to do everything they can to have as many people involved. And there are more people involved with Coach Cristobal. And the biggest difference that I'm being told where there's more people is with recruiting. It's no surprise that that's a big point of emphasis for him. I want to thank everybody for watching the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Please hit the like button if you did. Subscribe to the channel if you have not yet. Hopefully you have a good rest of the day and take care.